And coaching has always been on the defensive line. What's the adjustment been like for you to coaching linebackers?
Well, yeah, so no, it really hasn't. I've been a linebacker coach pretty much my whole career. I played it and coached it. I spent a year coaching D-line as all, so it's been pretty smooth. You know, the December, getting prepared for the bowl, and you know, just being surrounded by those guys who've played so much football here. You know, in Joe Bolden and Dez and Ross. I mean, they helped my transition there in December, and then it's been real smooth.
And obviously you're in a position where there's a lot of losses, so it's kind of a key focus for you to get that ready. What's that been like so far?
It's awesome. You know, it's just a challenge. You know, we got to get some young guys ready to go, and we got some great guys, you know, that are coming back that have played a lot of football too. You know, Ben Gideon has stepped in and been an incredible leader, you know, right off the bat. So, and then Coach Brown, you know, Coach Brown's there with me with the backers, and you know, he's a seasoned veteran coach that understands how to get guys ready to go. So it's been pretty smooth. We're working hard.
Has Mike McCray been full go? I mean, he's had a lot of shoulder issues over the years. Has he been doing all right with that?
Yeah, he's been incredible over the past, you know, the first 5 practices. He's a pleasant surprise. You know, you kind of knew he had it in him, and just, you know, his first 5 practices have been, you know, phenomenal. And
is Jabril working with you, or is he working with the safeties coaches still? What's that situation?
Jabril works with a lot of people. You know, he's with me. He's with the safety coaches. He's kind of everywhere. So he's a smart football player that can take on a lot, and you know, we're going to ask him to take on a lot. So you know, I think sky's the limit on what positions he can play. We might even line him up a nose tackle this year if we can.
When he's up close to the line, what is the biggest threat he presents to an offense?
He can get to the quarterback in under a second off the ball. You know, he's got quickness. He's going to put some old linemen in some tough situations coming off the edge. And, he can also drop and get to the flat real quick. And, you know, he can cover a guy from the line of scrimmage. You know, be a tight end or back out of the backfield. So he can do some real dynamic things for us there.
Are there a lot of differences in the Don Brown defense from what they were doing last year?
You know, it's a different defense. You know, I think, yeah, obviously there are differences, but you know, these kids are like seasoned. You know, it's like, all right, next up. You know, it's their 3rd defense here in 3 years, and you know, and they've picked it up really well, and you know, it's exciting to see. You know, and it hasn't been you know, as hard of a transition as people would think.
What's this opportunity been like for you? You spent last year obviously in a different role. This is your first time here in a role like this. What's this been like?
I mean, it doesn't get any better for me. I mean, this is awesome. This is what I love. You know, I'm on the field. I'm coaching. I'm getting after it. I mean, you know, you attack any role you have. I attacked last year like it was the best role I could ever have, and you know, I got a new one, and maybe I like this one a little better, but I'm just going to attack it 110% and do whatever I can for the team and whatever it asks of me.
Your new role, self-explanatory, but in your previous role, what were your responsibilities?
Bring the best players to the University of Michigan that our coaches and our head coach wanted to get here. You know, and that's what we focused on, and to, you know, to vet those players out, you know, from a film to how they are with their family to how they are at school, you know, to just, you know, figure out who those guys are and then get them here.
What were your day-to-day responsibilities?
Day-to-day, I mean, you know, watching film, you know, talking to high school coaches, talking to players' family members or prospects, you know, setting up the perfect visit, you know, when kids are on campus, you know, teaching our whole recruiting department and our students that we have working in our recruiting department, you know, how to look for things and what to do. Evaluating our players. I did a lot, you know, evaluating our current players, you know, because I was able to watch practice and take some time evaluating them from a whole, you know, to see what needs we needed, you know, just a variety of different things.
Before there was an actual opening in like mid-December, Jim had said something like they were going to do whatever they could to keep you here. Before it was clear that you'd have a spot. What did that mean to you? Because I assume you could have left and gone somewhere else. What was that like during that kind of time frame?
Yeah, you know, it's like you know, you work hard, and I want to be a coach, and he knew that. And you work hard in your job, and then you get those opportunities, but in your heart, you know, this is the place I wanted to be. So, you know, I put my trust in him, and just knowing that, you know, I wanted to coach for Jim Harbaugh, and I wanted to be at Michigan, and I believe in this place, and fortunately it worked out, you know, and it just, I had to make a decision within myself, you know, what path to take and where to put your trust into, and, you know, I believed in him and here, and fortunately it worked out, and I'm on the field now.
It was kind of blind when you came here, though, because you didn't really have a relationship with him. I mean, you knew the previous coaches, obviously, and stuff. But what was that process like, getting to know him, and you know, whether you're going to dive into some? I mean, you knew, I guess, some of the players that maybe that helped a little.
Yeah, no, yeah, you know, they didn't even know him, to be honest, because he was new. You know, I started, you know, in his first month here, so it wasn't so much them. It was just, you know, I guess, having belief in myself and just kind of diving into something and not looking back and working as hard as you can to be successful. And, you know, part of that is trying to see his vision as quickly as possible, you know, so I can, you know, make decisions and do the work the right way and trying to get to know his vision. And, you know, through doing that, you know, we formed a really good relationship. And, you know, I believe it helped because I believe in everything he does and you know, everything he says, so it makes it easier for me to then, you know, kind of tail off and do what I need to do in whatever my role was.
People are expecting this defense to be very good, but nationally they'll say, well, the one position that, well, they lost everybody and this and that will be yours. How much of a challenge do you take that as?
Oh, that's what I live for. You know, I love it. You know, I want just like he just asked. You know, when I came in here, it was a challenge. I mean, I'm a competitor, and you know, I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, we'll get those guys going, and we'll take on the challenge, and you know, and we'll make it work.
You mentioned bringing in the best players before with Rashawn Gary. Obviously, you got to know what do you know about him and his potential that other people might not know about this at this point?
I mean, I could say I know him better than any other college football coach in the country does. I mean, that's a fair statement. You know, sky's the limit with him, and I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised when he shows up here. And you know, it's just you just find, and I've been able to see, like, there's certain players that just have something, right? It's a work ethic. It's a work ethic on the field and in the classroom. It's, you know, it's just a love for the game where they have a bounce in their step every time they hit the field. And you know, fortunately, I've so far gotten to, you know, really on a lower level coach, on a high school level coach, two of those guys, and one of them is Bill, and one of them is Rashawn. And you know, you kind of, you know, they just have it, you know, have something, and you know, they take every single play they play is 110 miles per hour, and you know, so I expect huge things out of Rashawn, and he expects that of himself. And you know, it's not just going to be on the field; it's going to be in the community here at the school.